Okay, here's the fall yard and garden tour. It's November 6th, and today I started piling up my mulched leaves and what's left of the grass to mow anyway around the bananas, which I will overwinter. The larger one is out front. Maybe I'll get some footage of that. Cover crops and some of the planting beds are not doing so well. The Creeping Charlie is, however, doing fantastic. I'll have to combat that next year. The apple tree planting beds are doing better. There's a lot of radish and mustard germination from my various seed distributions starting mid-September. Also, the Creeping Charlie is doing fantastic. I did harvest all the okra pods, and those are in buckets waiting to be winnowed. These are some daikon radish that got, they germinated much earlier, midsummer. Otherwise, there's a lot of radish and mustard and red clover in here, actually. So that'll make for a better soil improvement situation. And here's this little cover crop soil improvement area. Again, planted, seeded, mid-September. It's doing pretty well. Cereal rye, mustard, radish, a little bit of the crimson clover as well. And I did some crimson clover in this arborvitae planting bed. It's coming in slowly. Plant a little bit of hairy vetch and some brassicas in this burning bush planting bed. And the main garden, boy, it is taken off beautifully. Again, planted and disked in mid-September. This had a couple thousand pounds of manure, rototilled in deeply. This was I think the first time I seriously added organic matter to this plot. And disked in hairy vetch, cereal rye, the yellow mustard, daikon radish, crimson clover, and nothing else comes to mind. I think that's about and turnip, purple top turnip. So, and the stand seems to be doing pretty darn well. Except for that spot over there. There's a naked spot in the middle. I'll show you that later. I ended up having to park the scissor lift on my yellow blossom sweet clover plot, but the sweet clover's growing slowly. I planted it late, which is a mistake. So we'll see what we get out of it next season. The other half of the main garden, which I just broadcast the cover crop seeds into is not quite as uniform of a stand. Some spots are fantastic, others are a little bit less impressive. And then this area over here, which is eventually going to be my privacy evergreen planting bed. The sorghum Sudan grass is finally frost killed for the most part. And got sun right behind us. That's rough. Of course, underneath this Chinese elm, nothing is growing very well, so I can't wait to get rid of that scraggly little turd. I did broadcast the winter cover crops in here. I'm not sure if they really didn't establish underneath the sorghum Sudan, so I guess we'll see if we get much. I don't see too much down there though. At least nothing that I want down there, so hopefully I didn't waste my window. I might have to just mow this down and broadcast cereal rye if nothing else seems to want to pop up. And then along the west edge here, I do have some stuff broadcast in here amongst the creeping Charlie. Bunch of radishes, mustard, and cereal rye seem to have germinated. So there's a big bunch of brassicas there. So we got squirrels in the corn. Some of this main garden, underneath where the crabgrass kind of took off, had pretty poor germination of really anything. So I don't even see much cereal rye coming up in this. Calm down, Sophie. And then I did broadcast some cereal rye out here in my piles of compost, just to get some living roots going back here. This area, this whole west edge was so wet, compacted. Really pretty miserable. Again, Chinese elms. Nothing